Welcome to SaxSpy. This is a messy desk review of the Bullet by ReedGeek. This is their latest read tool, and I've wanted to get my hands on it ever since I first saw it at NAMM when Morrow fixed my synthetic reads with it. So here are my first impressions on the Bullet. This usually retails for about $120, so I was super excited that I could get a discount on it. And I've known Morrow for a while now, so I called him up and he was more than happy to get you guys a discount as well. If you use code SAXBYBullet, you can save 15% on your order of the ReedGeek Bullet. And this discount will only go for the next week, so if you're looking for one, now's the time, and it will help support my channel as well. Alright, let's take a look. I really like the simple packaging here, and we can see that the case for the Bullet is different from the previous models. This one is a lot thinner, and it doesn't come with the neoprene bag. One of the things that I noticed when I first opened this is that the case protects the edges. Oh, and I left a little cane on it. But the case protects the edges from getting damaged, and so your tool will stay sharper that way. It's a really innovative case design for me. Another cool thing is that it will stand upright. If I can balance, well, can't really balance it there, but you get the idea. One thing that I noticed is that the finish is different. This is like a dark gray with like a mirror finish for the actual cutting surface, and then the handle is more of a matte finish. Part of that is that the handle has this file surface, which feels like these long lines cut in that are abrasive. Now we still have our two contoured cutting edges and two flat edges on this top section, which is a little bit shorter than on other ReedGeeks. And then on the top we have that curved cutting section, which acts almost like a pencil eraser. The curve here seems a little bit different than the one on the G4. But check this out. I like to roll it on the table. Can you hear that? It's pretty satisfying. I wanted to take a look at the packaging here, go through each of the claims that are on here, and see how true they are. It reads, "Thank you for purchasing the Bullet, ReedGeek's newest and most advanced tool to date." So this is for sure ReedGeek's newest tool. We know they have the Classic, the Black Diamond G4, which I think is the most popular. At least that's the one I have, and I've seen everyone else get. There's the Double Geek, and there's like a Universal Special, and now we have the Bullet. So this is the newest, and I'd say it's the most advanced tool as well, because it has the cutting surfaces of the other ones, and it has a handle like the Double Geek, and on top of that, that handle has a file tool, which I don't think is present on any of the other ReedGeek tools. So I'd say that's pretty accurate. Continuing on, the Bullet offers its users groundbreaking advances to read adjustment and maintenance. Okay, so we kind of talked about that. It is the most effective tool for the adjustment of synthetic polymer reads, both single and double. So I don't have a double, but let me grab a single. So this here is the Silverstein Ambi-Poly Alta Jazz reed, 3.5. This is a synthetic reed that I picked up at NAMM. I haven't had the chance to try it yet, and I don't think I'll do any playing, but it is synthetic, so let's give it a shot. So the first thing that I'll do is flatten the back of the table, and I'll use this with the flat edge of the reed, which is the side that says ReedGeek on it. I just set that down against the reed and tip it up, and then just slowly work from the middle to the outside. Now I'm trying to not work the middle as much because the middle tends to get overworked, but you have to go to both edges. So I'm supporting it here with my index finger, and this is really critical. As you get to the edge, you have to tip it sideways to catch both sides. A lot of demo videos miss this. Morrow always does it though. But yeah, hopefully the camera can catch that. You can see the really fine material that's coming off. The surface feels really smooth. Yeah, I think that helped flatten it. It was probably pretty flat to begin with, but you can do work on top of the reed. I'm not going to since I haven't played this reed yet, but let's try and take off maybe this label. I'm going to use the curved surface here. A little squeaky. And it's gone. Look at that. That came off real nice. Pencil tip seems to cut pretty nice too. Yeah, it's not too bad. You can still see file marks. Maybe I can get those away by sanding off a little bit with this. I don't know. It seems to cut well. I like the curved surface. This flat surface here is doing a pretty good job too. Let me know what you think. I'd probably say that the curved cutting surface worked the best here, just because the back of the reed is also curved, but the others did take off material. So I would say that this does cut synthetic polymer single reeds. I don't have any doubles, so let's see what the next claim is. So the second half of that sentence reads, "Not to mention its effortless cut on natural cane." Okay, so we need to grab some cane reeds and test those. I have some ones that I haven't done anything with in the back of my reed case here. So these are humidified. They might have a little bit of a warp, but I'm thinking we try it against the Black Diamond G4. This is the one that I've had for a couple years now, and I use on all of my reeds. This one's really great because it's got a long cutting surface, and it works great on cane anyway. I know this, so this will just be kind of a control. So push it flat down, curve it, supporting with my index finger. Make sure not to work too much in the middle, trying to get more up to the tip. And then I like to flip it, work some more, kind of blend those two sides. And then we always make sure we tip it and angle it a little bit on the back so we get all the way in the back corner. So a little bit of dust flying off. Yeah, that's really smooth. Now, that's no surprise to me. I've worked with this tool for a long time. So that is part of why I love the ReedGeek. You get a great seal, and it works on cane reed. So set that one aside. Let's take a look at this next reed. Oh, this one I haven't played at all. This is a D'Addario. This one's really not smooth. So flat side down with the ReedGeek on top. Tip it. Starting in the middle, going to the tip. Yeah, this is cutting really nice. This is really smooth. I can tell this is a nice sharp edge. You can see all those particles. It's coming right off. Yeah, nice and smooth. All right, we got to get the back half here. This is usually where it's warped the most. So I'm going to get the middle first. Make sure you tip it. Morrow, I've met with Morrow on 3 different occasions, and he always does that. So I'm pretty confident in that being the correct technique. And this is coming off real nice. I think I could use a little bit more flattening. Now, I'm not using any pressure. I'm using just the weight of this. I'm not digging into the cane. I would be worried about gouging it if I did. This is pretty sharp, so. Yep. Okay, it's pretty smooth. Yeah. All right. Now, that top part's not smooth. This might be a great chance to try the file. Yeah, I'm just running it up the back of the vamp there. This is kind of like a burnishing. I used to do this with paper when I would first get a reed. I'd run my finger across the top with paper to try and close all those pores, but this seems a lot easier. The file didn't take off too much. The back's pretty smooth, so I'd say that's true. This works great for single reeds. All right, let's see what the next claim is. It reads, utilizing advanced aerospace diamond-like alloys. So the alloy is the material it's made out of, and we don't know for sure what it is, but my suspicion is that this is tungsten carbide, which cuts about 9.4, where diamond is 10. So if so, that would be pretty accurate. Continuing, it says, the ReedGeek Bullet allows double reed players to adjust tip and corner contours to achieve maximum vibration without a plaque. So I am a bassoonist, and I do make my own reeds. Let me see if I can go grab some. So here's some reeds for my last circus performance in December. I made a bunch of these and used maybe 2 of them on the gig. But I don't have a bassoon. I was borrowing one, and I would have bought one, except, stuff happened in the world. So that's on hold. I won't be able to try these, but let's give it a shot. I usually use files and a plaque for this. Oh, let's get some of this cane off. I usually use a file and plaque for this kind of stuff. So let's see what we can do. If we take the curved edge, I guess we can work on the rail a little bit here. Yeah, that cuts. Because you could make really nice thin rails that way. I'm not one to usually work a whole lot of rails, but let's see. Okay, so the flat side going in. No, I probably shouldn't go in. There we go, going out. Okay, yeah, we're getting some cutting there. And I'm not using any pressure because I fear I might crack it without a plaque. But maybe this contour can cut the spine. Yeah, that's actually a really nice tool if I want to cut the spine down. You can see that's getting some nice material off. Now, I'm used to doing adjustments with the plaque and file, but I think there's something here. See ReedGeek.com for more information and videos. Okay, well, I probably should have watched how to do the videos on adjusting double reeds. So let's say that this one is accurate as well. I think that with the right practice, you can do it. It still cuts without pressure. Let's try some channels here. Actually, this is usually where I use a square file, so cutting a channel with the pencil tip eraser might be really nice. Yeah, it still cuts without pressure and without a plaque, so I'd say that's accurate. Though my aim isn't too good. I kind of like seeing those little wispies flying off of the reed there. Sorry, I can't really confirm if this read plays at all, but let's check out what the next claim is. So continuing that sentence, we read, single read players are able to balance and flatten their read with effortless efficiency. So we've already flattened this read, but maybe we can give a shot at trying to balance the read. So we'll just take this one here, and I like to flex the tips with my index fingers. The left side is a little bit hard, so I'm going to take the curved blade and just kind of thin out that rail a little bit, use the pencil tip to kind of blend that, see if that helps. Yeah, so those are flexing about the same now, and before I might have done that with, sandpaper or a file or something, but that was pretty quick. Now we've already flattened the read, but I want to kind of even up these rails a little bit. Sometimes the machine leaves these lines on the side. I don't know if you can see that, but the lines aren't exactly even. So let's see if we can get that. Just using the curved edge here, taking off very minimal amounts, and see if I can get that to look nicer. Because we don't want that vibration to stop. Maybe burnish up the vamp a little bit using that file edge. I'm just trying to push down or get rid of any open fibers or roughness. There's just a little bit left here. But I would say that the claim that these can help balance and flatten read with effortless efficiency is pretty accurate. Maybe a little bit of effort, but it does work. So let's see what we have left here. So it says built-in shank file handle grip for burning. Oh, I have a little bit of cane on my ReedGeek. I usually don't like to leave the cane on. Mara said you don't want to leave liquids on either, just to help take care of the metal. Sometimes I have to scrape it off with my fingernail, but yeah. Oh, well, now it's all dirty. Let me wipe it off. Okay, so this last part just talks about the shank file for burnishing and smoothing cane reads. Okay, well, we've done that. So my first impressions are that the Bullet by ReedGeek is the most advanced read adjustment tool on the market today. It has all the flat and contoured cutting edges, the micro adjusting tip, the file, and the new material. So if you want to pick one up for yourself, use code SAXBYBullet to save 15%, and let me know how it works for you. I hope you enjoyed this messy desk review, and I will see you next time.